Hi, I'm Joshua Farley.
And I'm Marcus Soto.
And this is Inside Our Industry, where we share weekly insights on everything to do with the electric and solar industry, contracting, and best practices. Marcus came in the office today looking like shit. I was like, dude, we got podcasts
That
today.
doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
We got a podcast today. I mean, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you that you have hair.
My hair was a little, it was 10 for 10. It was 10 for 10.
10 for 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets to come to the office in shorts. Can anybody see those shorts?
You
see
don't
those,
even,
or are we from the waist up? I don't
you
know.
don't even have to worry about the hair thing, though.
Dude, you got flip-flops on.
So? I can do electrical work in flip-flops. It can happen.
Okay,
it's not very smart.
It's not smart at all.
Drop a 11 in one?
Yeah, talking about face up, face down. It depends on what bit's out.
Right.
All that
it's
shit.
still going to hurt either way. Those things are kind of heavy.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, today we're going to talk about a little bit more about NABCEP certification. Doctor.
Doctor.
Solar doctor.
Solar doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor.
MD Farley.
Doctor. Doctor.
MD.
Doctor. North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners.
It's pretty much the gold standard in solar in North America.
When I got NABCEP certified, I was years ago. The practitioners, like my wife was in school to become a nurse practitioner. I was like, and I'm like, I beat you. I'm like, I'm a solar doctor now because I'm a energy practitioner. Doctor. Marcus is also a doctor. Solar doctor. It definitely is the gold standard. I'm sure we talked about it before, but the difference I think is like I just had to re-up.
Yeah, we had a bunch of continuing education credits that we had to get. Yep.
So you have to renew your certification, and you have to do the energy credits, and it has to be, it has to be like National Electric Code credits. Mm-hmm. You have to have JTA, Job Task Analysis credits, and then you got to have building and fire codes and energy credits. Yep. Well, energy credits.
There's all kinds of different classes.
It's like industry classes, and 2 of those hours I think had to be like building codes and building codes and standards.
And then pretty much you just have to prove that you've been in the industry. You have to prove that you're actively working on things inside the industry.
That's why I think it's the gold standard, right?
Right.
Because they require you to do the work, to do the trade. If you know what you're doing, it's not hard, right? Mm-hmm. And it does take time. It definitely takes time, and it can be burdensome if you wait till the last minute.
Well,
I may have done that once or twice.
Well, this stuff's constantly changing.
Every time I renew.
Constantly changing. So like, we need to learn the new things as it's progressing, right? As far as the electrical codes, as far as the new technologies and efficiencies coming out, pretty much all the different parts of electrical and solar.
Well, was it 2017 had modules like on, you could see the modules in the background, like it has photovoltaics in the background of the code image, like. So it's like they were taking a stand and saying, "Hey, this is like we're gonna get behind this. Yep. This is the future," and it does change. The solar is changing more than the electrical because it's up and coming. When you think about that certification, specific industry certifications, I have an ROC license, Register of Contractors, Arizona State, electrical license, so we can do work 600 volts or less across commercial and residential properties, no limit, right? Those are the boundaries within my license, but they don't ask me for any continuing education.
We need to get you up on a roof. 2-story? We'll get you up on a 2-story with a module with a little extra wind on it. We're going to tie in.
Nothing to do
no, I'm just...
I took the safety courses. I know. You got to be wearing your gear.
Yep.
Your gear.
Harnessed in.
Yeah. And how to lug a module. I know that because I'm a doctor. I'm a solar doctor.
Doctor.
So long story short, the ROC doesn't know if I'm a good businessman, if I'm a good electrician, have I been in the trade, am I doing work in my field? They don't know shit.
Yeah.
They do ask you, like when you're getting your license, if you have, for references and experience, and you have to take the tests and certain things. But I know a ton of people who got that shit by faking it and lying. It's like
and then all they ask for is money.
And then
it's just money.
And then every 2 years is money. You got to pay to up it. It's harder to be certified NABCEP than it is to be an electrical contractor, and you have to be an electrical contractor to do solar. You don't have to have NABCEP. You don't have to be a solar doctor.
Doctor.
You know, so like I think the ROC needs to get behind some continuing education credits, like
Right.
level the playing field, and they need to like I'm really behind it.
I think it would help with some of these dumbass contractors that are out here doing work that we have to go and fix all the time. If they did a little bit more on the front end, probably making sure that people knew what they were doing on the front end, and then had some kind of continuing education or something that you had to do every once in a while. We would have to do it too.
Right.
But that's okay.
Right.
Because it would make our industry better.
Yeah, in the industry, there's some really good players in it, right? Like I know a lot of good people that have an electrical license and do solar and are NABCEP certified. I know that. And then we get the flip side of that. So we do a lot of solar up north of Phoenix, and we had a customer call us who bought a house that we put solar on. He opted to go with another contractor to remove his system so he could replace his roof. And they ended up calling us because the electrical contractor he hired said that our work was shit. And and we were like, okay, well, what's the matter with it? He's like, well, they can't seem to get it working. I go, well, it was working before they took it off. He goes, yes, but now that after they put it back on, he sent pictures of where they cut the trunk lines and had open wire nuts, and they couldn't get it fixed. And they were saying that was what we did.
Ridiculous.
So I'm like, listen. You're our customer. We did work from you before. Like you're our customer. You're always our customer. What can we do to help? Yep. So I called the contractor. I talked to him. He goes, well, these inverters, I've never seen them before. I don't even know where to get them. I don't have an account at the supply house.
Yeah, that was
things, he's like, can you buy the inverters and just get them to me? I'm like, well, if this is all it takes, if this is all it's going to take, sure, I'll give you a couple inverters. It's going to make our client, right? It's our client, even though you shouldn't be involved, but. Right. If it's going to make our client better, he wanted to charge the customer more to do that because he came in and didn't know what the fuck he was doing, ripped it apart, and thought he could put it back together later. Yep. It's not easy.
You definitely have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to test everything. You have to know how to put it together. And you have to know what the codes are. You can't just be wire nutting things on a roof.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that customer called us. He wants to add solar.
Yeah.
Well, so after the fact, he definitely wasn't going to use that company that just... Right. He's had to deal with for the last month. So he called us back.
Because we're solar doctors. Doctor. What is that from?
You fucking did that when we first got our nabs.
I know. Oh, right. Back to that same story. So so every time we got it, Doctor. But that's from something, it's not Blazing Saddles. It's one of those.
Do you remember when we first got our NABCEP? And you would just be like, hey, you want to see a cool picture? Just constantly. It was like, hey, you want to see a cool picture? And it was just a picture of his certification every time. His wife started talking to me about it. Like, he keeps showing me this NABCEP picture. I remember.
I was like, oh, here, let's take a selfie. I take a selfie and then an actual selfie, and then be like, oh, that's awesome. Look at how good your smile is, NABCEP.
Yeah.
Then I had it blown up. We had our shit blown up so we could put it at the office. But before it came to the office, it got put in my bathroom. So when she walked into the bathroom, turned on the light, there it was. Oh,
it was that's a no-go.
I mean, it's important. When you become a practitioner, as
doctor,
as we are, it's important to make sure people understand what that means and how important it is and what that means to them, right? So the value that we bring is the value of. It's the difference between that guy that just was cutting and splicing and testing and making and somebody that's going to do it and protect your home and your life,
So in certain places, you have to have a NABCEP certified professional on staff. In certain places, and I think that would be good to come here to Arizona, just so people can know that the company that they're hiring to do their solar work knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of them out there that don't. And it's unfortunate.
You got Chuck in a truck. You got Chuck in a truck out there showing up when unmarked vehicles, slapping shit on, drilling the L feet right to the deck, and then you got problems that occur. Like we saw one, we were out on an insurance claim where they drilled to the deck. It was a big outfit here that did it. And I know who it was. So I called one of the guys over there and he goes, yeah, at the time we were doing it like that because the owners were like, we're making so much money. If they're gonna call us, we'll replace their roof.
Yep.
I was like, what kind of fucking ass?
Unacceptable.
Like, that's bullshit.
Unacceptable.
So, anyways, so like that shit doesn't get noticed right away. It goes into your attic, it leaks, it starts to create mold. Those problems take years. If you're not in there looking, those problems take years, right?
Yep.
100% they need NABCEP certification, like to separate the men from the boys or the females from the girls. What? I don't know what's politically correct right now. But even having the rules don't fucking make anybody follow them.
Right.
Like the rule in Arizona, you got to be licensed for the shit you're selling. You can't be just a sales arm knocking on doors, selling solar, and then subcontracting it. It's illegal. It's wrong. Don't get me started. I think how many fucking episodes are we gonna do on this one fucking issue? Somebody help us. Let's make it. Anyways, we're solar doctors. Are you a solar doctor?